Welcome everyone, this is On Just Restart, and in this video, we're going to be talking about what exactly could be Nintendo's big holiday game. The reality of the situation is, we don't know what their big holiday game is going to be, but you have to assume that Nintendo's going to have something to come out during the holidays. So that's what we're talking about today. Before we jump into things, I'm going to quickly talk about our social media. There's a Twitter page, a Discord community, a Patreon page, and a Twitch channel. If you're interested in any of that, check it all out, it's linked in the description below. If you've been following me for a while, you probably know that I really want Breath of the Wild 2 to come out this year. Will it come out this year? Hard to say. We really don't know what's going on. It's been in development for a little bit of a while. It's been in development since holiday 2017 actually, and it may be ready by the holidays for this year, but it also may not be. And when you also factor in the whole pandemic situation, a lot of developers are transitioning over to remote development. That can lead to delays, especially for bigger projects that require a lot of communication between a whole bunch of different developers. There's a lot of moving parts here, so if you have a big multi-100-man team, yeah, it's probably going to be kind of hard to not see any delays if you're transitioning everyone to working from home. So regardless of what game Nintendo may have had planned for the holidays before the whole pandemic broke out, that may have changed because of this transition to remote development. But I gotta think that they're still gonna have something. We've recently gotten the announcement for Paper Mario, but that's coming out in July. But similar to the Paper Mario announcement, according to Jeff Grubb on VentureBeat, the Mario Remasters and Pikmin 3 Deluxe will be announced and releasing soon as well. So we could be seeing a trailer for both of these games within the next couple months or so, and they both will be out by, say, August or September at the latest, and then that would leave October, November, December kind of vacant, wouldn't they? Wouldn't Nintendo want to have something to come out during the October, November, December months? Those are the biggest months of the year, usually. Looking over this October to December period for the Nintendo Switch lifecycle, in 2017 we got Super Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. In 2018 we got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then last year in 2019 we got Luigi's Mansion 3 and Pokemon Sword and Shield. All pretty darn big games that I would say are suiting for that time of the year. But for this year, what do we have? If the Mario Remasters and Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Paper Mario are all coming out by September, and for the record, the reason why I think the Mario Remasters will be out by September is because the September month is the actual anniversary month for Mario, and if the whole point of the Mario Remasters is to celebrate the 35th anniversary, my bet is September, especially considering that Jeff Grubb is saying that they're going to be announced and releasing fairly soon, like Paper Mario. So I'm thinking that these games aren't going to be coming out that much later into the year. But either way, these are ports and remasters we're talking about here. Both Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Mario Remasters are, well, what they are. They're ports or deluxe versions of what they were initially, or a remaster. So there's not really too much brand new content there. There's not a ground up whole new game. The biggest ground up new game that we've gone so far is Animal Crossing New Horizons and then Paper Mario. And Paper Mario is coming out in July. Now there is also Bravely Default 2. I'm of the frame of mind that it will be coming out towards the end of the summer or early fall, but it is possible that it slips into the later part of the year, such as October or November. Maybe that could happen. But I also want to stress that it doesn't have to be just one Nintendo game per month. Every year, there is over 20 published Nintendo games. There are some months that have more than one Nintendo game. Sometimes they're smaller projects, sometimes they're bigger projects. It kind of varies. But I think most of us can agree that when we look at what we know about this year, or at least what's rumored for this year, there isn't really that much that would be considered like a big holiday kind of game compared to the last few years. So is this year just going to be kind of vacant? Or is there something that hasn't really been brought up yet by the reported rumors, such as from VentureBeat, or something that's actually been announced? So is it possible that this last part of the year, the October to December period, just won't have really that much at all? Or is there simply something we're not considering yet? I brought up Breath of the Wild 2. I think there's a possibility it could be that. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's Bayonetta 3. We recently got an update that Bayonetta 3 has not been cancelled, which I didn't think was happening, but some people are bringing that into question because they hadn't been discussed. Maybe Bayonetta 3 is right around the corner and that could be coming out at the end of the year. That's a possibility. There is a couple other rumored games that I haven't brought up yet, but I don't really feel like they would definitely be the biggest game to come out this year from Nintendo. One of them is Super Mario 3D World Deluxe. Supposedly that's going to be coming along with the Paper Mario Remasters games for the whole 35th anniversary celebration. That would make sense, that would sell, but that is at the end of the day a port, so I gotta think Nintendo would have something else besides another port to help the Switch sort of thrive during the holiday season. But the other rumored game that could be coming out this year is a Metroid game, and it isn't Metroid Prime 4, and it isn't Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, although I would like to see both of those, but I think Prime 4 is a bit of a ways off, and Prime Trilogy HD might also be a little bit of a ways off as well. But the Paper Mario trailer did seem to be teasing something. We've gotten rumors throughout the year from credible sources that a 2D Metroid game is in the works. So maybe we're going to be getting a 2D Metroid game, something along the lines of a Link's Awakening in terms of graphical fidelity, I guess. Gameplay-wise, it's probably going to be more like Metroid Samus Returns, and actually on that note, it wouldn't surprise me if the team that's working on this supposed 2D Metroid game is Mercury Steam, the team that developed Metroid Samus Returns. A ground-up new 2D Metroid game that actually expands on the story, not just the remake, would be really awesome to see, and I think that would be a great game to come out in the latter half of the year, maybe that October timeframe. But a 2D Metroid alone I don't think is enough. So while I would say it's possible that the October to December time period could be filled up with 3D World Deluxe, this 2D Metroid, and maybe Bravely Default 2, I feel like that would still be a little lackluster compared to previous years, although all of those games would be great games, don't get me wrong. I'm simply talking about scale here in terms of what we usually get. A big new Pokemon game that's going to sell over 10 million, a big new Smash game that's going to sell over 10 million, a big new Mario game that's going to sell over 10 million, something like that. Will Nintendo have a game like that that could sell over 10 million? Now, some of you may argue that the 3D World Deluxe game would sell over 10 million. Maybe, but it is just a port of a game that's already been out. There's already Mario Odyssey, which I think will definitely be a bigger selling game than 3D World Deluxe. And then there's also the Mario Remasters, which there's a lot more buzz for than this 3D World Deluxe. And considering that we would already have gotten the Paper Mario game and the Mario Remasters, will there really be that much more demand for another Mario game, and this one being a game that came out just a couple years ago that is basically just a Wii U port with maybe some minor enhancements and a little bit more content? I'm not sure. The point I'm trying to make here is that while Bravely Default 2, a 2D Metroid, and 3D World Deluxe could be the only games we get during the October to December period, I feel like there's a good chance it could be something else. But of course, the pandemic situation might make that not be the case, of course. But still, I gotta think Nintendo's gonna wanna have something that would be a big selling kind of game to come out around that time. Breath of the Wild 2 would be that kind of game. So maybe it's that. Maybe they want that kind of game to compete with the next-gen systems that are coming out around that time as well. That's a possibility. Another possibility, as I brought up earlier, is Bayonetta 3. Maybe that could be coming out. Maybe we could be getting both Bayonetta 3 and Breath of the Wild 2. That was my initial predictions, but with the whole transition to remote development, maybe that's no longer a possibility. Maybe I was never going to even be right to begin with. Hard to say. But those aren't the only considerations here. Another possibility is that maybe we get another big Mario Kart game. Supposedly, according to Sabby a few months ago, there's going to be a big holiday game that's involving tires. Mario Kart comes to mind. We haven't had a ground-up new Mario Kart game made for Switch yet. We got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but that was a deluxe or remastered port of Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Maybe there's room for another new Mario Kart game. I think that's possible. I would love that. That would be very cool. But at the same time, I'm a little on the fence because, well, we already have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and it's the best-selling game on Switch and it's still selling really well. Is there really a need to make another Mario Kart game when you can focus all those development efforts on bringing something new to the table? I'm not sure. That's up for Nintendo to decide, obviously. Either way, I think it's at least something worth considering. It could definitely happen. Another potential game that we might see during the holidays, though, is what Retro Studios has been working on. Yes, they are developing Metroid Prime 4 now, but what have they been doing since 2014 when they released their last big game, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze? Have they really accomplished nothing else in these last 6 years? That's a possibility, but I'm skeptical that Nintendo would hand over the development of Metroid Prime 4 to Retro Studios if they were unable to make any sort of game during that 6-year period. So in my opinion, it kind of makes sense to think that they did finish a game or were almost done with a game, and that game will be coming out sooner or later before the release of Prime 4. I think that's what's going on, and maybe we will see that game sometime during this holiday season. I think that is a possibility. I could be wrong, of course. Maybe Nintendo decided that they don't need to be able to complete a game to be able to develop Metroid Prime 4. Maybe. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, it makes sense that they would have had something else in the works that could maybe come out this year. Now, what could that be? Maybe they'll finally get a new IP. I do like the idea of Retro Studios resurrecting another dead franchise, maybe like Star Tropics or Star Fox or Earthbound or Kid Icarus. All of those would be just wonderful to see. but we really don't know what's going on. But either way, I think there's a possibility we could be seeing an announcement from Retro Studios for a game that could maybe come out this year. Everything I've discussed so far are all possibilities, but none of it may happen. We don't really know. It could be something else that I haven't even brought up yet. Maybe there's another development team from Nintendo that has something in the works that could be coming out this year. I don't know what that could be, but I do have an idea of something that I would want to see, so I'll sort of just talk about it here because I think it's interesting. What if we were to get a brand new 3D Donkey Kong game? Imagine a brand new Donkey Kong game that's in the vein of like Mario Odyssey, like a 3D Donkey Kong. So I guess maybe like a spiritual successor to Donkey Kong 64. Now I know, Donkey Kong 64, in terms of a critical perspective, in terms of like quality for a lot of people, isn't very good. But what if there was a really good 3D Donkey Kong game? Imagine this 3D Donkey Kong game using the Odyssey engine where there's some crazy platforming going on, and he's sliding through branches and grabbing and flying through vines and trees, kind of like Tarzan. And then he also has like that heft and bulk we saw in Jungle Beat, where he's able to beat characters down, and it would be sort of like a more acrobatic, aggressive version of Mario Odyssey set in the Donkey Kong sort of theme. I think that would be amazing. But will it happen? I mean, this is just my own personal idea of what would be a great Donkey Kong game, but my point is, there's a whole bunch of possibilities in terms of what could come out during this holiday season. Maybe this is going to be a slow year, maybe there won't be a big holiday game like the last 3 years. Hard to say, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think there's going to be another big holiday game that we don't know about yet? Is there a game like Breath of the Wild 2 or Bayonetta 3 that could come out this year? Or something else entirely? And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Anyways everyone, this is On Just Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.